Hey everyone, so I want to talk about some issues or problems I have noticed in my own keepings of longfin bettas. So first, yes, he is in a fishbowl. Right now it's probably about 2 to 3 gallon fishbowl. This is just a temporary setup for him. My parents bought him from a fish show, and he's going to be going into a 5 gallon tank that currently has some guppies in it that are going to be going outside in our pond soon here. He'll be going in his own 5 gallon tank here. So this is just a temporary tank for him before someone makes a comment on that. So first issue you can have with longfin bettas is they are not the best of swimmers. Bettas in general are not always the best of swimmers, but especially when they have the nice big flowy long fins, it makes them even worse swimmers. As you can see here, he kind of struggles just to swim around in this little fishbowl, or his fishbowl. This does not have a filter on it whatsoever, and he still has issues with it. So most of the time, since we bought him, which was a couple days ago, he's been kind of sitting on the bottom of the tank until someone walks up to his tank or his bowl. And then he kind of gets up and does this. Then when he walk away, he just hovers back down to the bottom and just sits there and waits for someone to come up and feed him. So that's one issue, is they are not very good swimmers, and you will probably find them on the bottom of their tank most of the time. And because they're not very good swimmers, when you have a filter in the tank, as you should with bettas, they can get pushed around a lot easier than short fin bettas. So you want to be careful that your filter is not too strong for them, and that they're not just being pushed around, because that's very stressful for the betta. And then another thing is make sure they're not getting sucked into or onto the filter as well, because that of course can rip open their fins, and it can also stress them out as well. Now some bettas do like to sit on filters. That's just how they are. So make sure that if your betta is doing that, it's not because they're being sucked into it, just because they want to do it on their own. One other thing that I've found that can be an issue with bettas is if you put them in a community tank, because they have the long fins, other fish tend to like to nip on their fins, which of course can again lead to destruction of their fins, and of course can stress them out as well. Then this can also lead to premature death. If they get their fins ripped open, it can turn into fin rot, which can of course end up killing them if it's not taken care of. So if you do have them in a community tank, make sure your other fish are not picking on the betta, because it's not just bettas that will pick on other fish. Other fish can pick on bettas as well. And one last thing is I would recommend actually a smaller tank for them. You can put bettas in any size tank you really want to, but if you have a long fin betta, they do need to breathe air. So if you have a tank that is way too tall for them, they might not be able to get up to the surface, especially if you have a filter that's a bit too strong to where it pushes them around. They might not be able to get up to the surface to breathe air, and this, of course, is bad and can stress them out as well. So another thing that can stress them out. So make sure your tank isn't too tall or just too big for the betta. Again, this is for the long fin variety. So again, if you're noticing them struggling getting to the top of the tank to get air, probably means your tank is just too big, and you might want to put them into their own smaller tank. If you're having those issues. So if you guys are finding any of these issues, just be paying attention to your betta and make sure they're not having those issues, and if they are, just try to correct it. Because they have these such long fins, it makes it hard for them to swim. Again, especially if your filter is too strong or other fish are picking on them. If you guys can think of any other issues with long fin bettas, leave a comment below. They are very, very beautiful fish. Bettas are my favorite fish, and their nice long fins on the long fin variety definitely adds to their appeal. Alright guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have a good one. See y'all next time. Goodbye.